Hello guys, today we are going to learn how to install the Google Tag Manager in your WordPress account. And we need, first and foremost, we need to have a WordPress account set up. I hope everyone's got their website already set up in a WordPress account, because this presentation is explaining how to install the Google Tag Manager in your WordPress. So it's more WordPress specific. And I've already created a dummy e-commerce shop for the sake of this tutorial. Just the basic setup, and that's all you need, a web page or a website with multiple pages. So in this case, it's just an e-commerce template that I'm using, and make sure that you already activated the website after creating the pages. Yeah, so that is the URL of the website, and right here I've already logged in to my WordPress account. I can log myself out and show you the steps as well. Alright, so this is the live web page, and I am using one of my Google Tag Manager accounts, and actually I have to create a new account for this particular website. And before we do that, let's take a deep dive into a bit of theory that is required for you to understand how this Google Tag Manager works. Okay, assuming that you guys have learned Google Analytics in one of the previous in one of my previous lectures, we'll explain some of the concepts that we're going to use. But even if you have not got any idea of what Google Analytics is, you don't have to worry much about it, because the objective of this presentation is how to install and manage a website in WordPress, and using Google Tag Manager, how to get the information that is required for Google Analytics and the other applications. All right, so the objectives, let's say, yeah, so this is exactly what's going to happen. You should be able to install your Google Tag into your WordPress built website, and then you will be able to see all the information gathered by the Google tags. So I'm gonna use my own website, and you can try to follow these steps in this presentation, which I will be sharing among you all. And that is yeah, the game plan for this lesson. So here we go. It says a bit of information about what Google Tag Manager is. Yeah, so it's a free tool by Google, and it's a very productive tool to keep track of your website for various purposes. So if you just build a website, and if you're not keeping track of what's happening behind the scenes, and you will be missing out a lot of things. So what we're going to do here right now is try to understand, like in very simple terms, how the Google tags work. So the closest analogy I have for a Google tag is, assume that it is pretty much like a hashtag that you guys use. So it's pretty much like a tag that is being installed into the website, or a tracking code, we can call it, to keep track of what is happening in your website, meaning how many people visit your website, like which regions this website, the website users are visiting from, a lot of information that we use in analyzing the website. Yeah, so that is why we install this tracking code, which is called as a Google tag. And the tracking code, as you can see, tracks various aspects of your website or web pages. For example, if you have a web page, people can perform many different events. So that is a keyword that you have to remember, an event. Let's see what is an event. So event, in the sense of a website, is something that the user do in your website. For example, I can click on this Apple Watch icon. That is an event. I can go all the way down and do a subscription. That is also an event. You can click a button. Yeah, so all these things are called as events. So in order to track different events, there are different strategies that we have to use. Once you implement the tracking codes in each and every page of your website, we can get the data, and then we can analyze the data using the other platforms provided by Google, like Google Analytics. And even you can send some information to Facebook Pixel, and that is something that we use to manage the Facebook ads. And again, they got Google AdWords, or Google Ads as they now call it. So you can make a lot of decisions related to your website's performance, and you can kind of fine tune your website, and you can try to, let's say for example, in a case of managing Google AdWords account, you can always get the information related to your Google Ads from your website's tracking codes that we are going to install. Yeah, so it's a compulsory thing that we have to install these tracking codes, and then we get the information from your website pertaining to the user events. And sorry about that. And those information will be used by the other platforms or other Google platforms like Google Analytics and Google AdWords. Yeah, so simple as that. All right, so one more thing, and there is a bit of a hierarchy that you should know, and in order to make these tags work properly, you need to follow this hierarchy. So first and foremost, you need to have a Google account. Any Gmail account will be suffice. And in that account, as you can see, this is the account that I've logged in. I have several other Gmail accounts, so it'll be more account specific. Now you can see in this account, I've created multiple containers, as they call it, because I'm managing 4 different web platforms. So that is the plan. So we need to create a new container for our website. In my case, it's my website, so you need to do it for your website. Yeah, so the Google account is on top of the POPs, or the top of the hierarchy, and then you need to create a container. You can have multiple containers, and then inside this container you'll be having different tags, triggers. All right, so that is another keyword that we're going to use. We'll understand it in more practical sense. So trigger is like when a user performs an event in your website, some kind of a form filling or button click or subscription, anything. So that is what the trigger is being caused related to. So the trigger will send information that is required for the, let's say, for the decision making of the other applications. Yeah, for example, it says this event triggers the tag loaded on GTM. Yeah. All right, so we got the variables. Again, another keyword. A variable is something that is holding some information that will change time to time. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about these three things. The last two things right now. We'll focus more on the tags and the container and the account, because we will be learning about the triggers and variables later on. Yeah, so this is what I was exactly talking about. So in this example structure, I got 3 accounts. Yeah, one account is handling the company called, let's say, ABC. In my case, I need only just one account and one container, because I'm managing only this website. But as you could see, in my account, I got already 4 containers set up. So if you are managing multiple websites, it's good to have 3 or 4, whatever number of separate accounts, or separate containers for each account so that you can easily filter out the data for each website separately. Yeah, so it's just 3 containers for one account, and if this account has 4 or 5 websites, similarly we need to have 4 or 5 containers set up. Yeah, so that's it. Alright, so assuming that you already logged into the Google Tag Manager, if you don't know how to access this page, you can just Google Tag Manager, and you can click on any of these links and make sure that you logged into the right Google account, because it's more account specific. And if you create all these containers in one account, you will see those containers in that particular account, and if you switch it, you will not see those containers. You might see something different. So you need to be careful that you are using the same account that is related to the projects or the websites that you are handling. Yeah, so I'm going to click the first hyperlink, and here we go. Yeah, so I've already logged in now. The process might be a little different in your case if you have not already logged into your Gmail account in your computer. Yeah, so here I'm gonna hit the button called Create an Account. I'm gonna jump into this step, the setup. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna type the company name. Make sure that you just type a name that's related to your website. If you're handling multiple websites, that'll be more convenient for you to find out which one is which. And I just label it as BOSA e-commerce. So I'm going to just call it BOSA. Yeah, BOSA shop. Alright, so you can give it a name of your liking. And here you can choose the country where you're running the business. Yeah, I can go for Thailand. Alright, and here's the magic word, the container name. So it can be anything, but I'm going to give it a meaningful name. I'm going to give it, let's say, what's the name of the website? No, it's not related to this e-commerce shop, so I don't actually have a domain name purchase for this one. Assuming that I'm going to use the domain name, let's call it, bosashop.com. I'm going to just punch it in. Just the name. Yeah, it can be any meaningful name. And here is the other step. We need to click on web in this case, because it's not a mobile app or an AMP page. Yeah, so that's the completion of this particular step according to the slides. So I'm going to hit the create button at the bottom left corner, you can see. There we go. So now right here you need to accept the terms and conditions, and there is a button on the top right hand corner. See if I have captured that. Yes, so it says yes. That's the button that you have to click. May take a while. Alright, that's done. Now you'll be prompted with some coding. Yeah, you don't need to get startled after seeing this coding. So many people get really upset because it's a programming language. Yeah, so what we're gonna do is keep this open as it is. You have observed 2 things, like 2 blocks. Here it says the head tag, and here it is the body tag. So you will be prompted with 2 different codes, so keep that in mind. Yeah, first we're gonna focus on the head tag, this particular code that we have to install in the head tag, or we call it as the header, the tag or the head tag of the HTML. So you don't have to worry about all this technical jargon. You have to just copy and paste this in the right place. That's it. And again, in WordPress, it is really easy. And if you're maintaining a website in a web server, you have to log into the control panel and find the page and install it into all the pages of your website uh, in order to keep track of the information or the user events. Alright, so I'm going to keep it open for a reason. Let's see in the slide. Yeah, right here. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. So it's two different tags that we need to copy and paste. One is called the head section tag and the other one is the body section tag. Alright, so I'll teach you an easier way of doing this in WordPress using something called as a plugin. Okay, so this plugin is called the header and footer plugin. Alright, now if you're not familiar with how to install plugins in WordPress, you don't have to worry. I'll teach you that as well. And let's go to the WordPress account. There we go. So I'm going to log into the WordPress account and go to the admin panel. Alright, we're in. And how do you find this plugin? What was it called? Header footer plugin. Yeah. Alright, so let's find the section. On to your left hand side in this panel, there should be a section called plugins. Yeah, found it. Right here at the bottom. Yeah, it says plugins and installed plugins and add new. Yeah, you can go for the option add new because we are going to add this plugin which will enable us to install or copy and paste those Google tags in each and every page of your website or selected pages of your website. Okay, so the name of the plugin that we have to search for, let's see, what was it called? Header footer plugin. Yeah, you can just copy this. I just type it. Now go back to your WordPress panel and search for header and footer. Yeah, so this is the one that I was referring to. There are so many plugins actually. Yeah, this one I've tested and so it works fine. And it's one of the recommended plugins as well. So I'm going to install by hitting the install now button. You might not have to do that if it's already installed. You can just search it up. Okay, and just wait for a while. So let's go back to the slides and it says installed. I think you need to activate that afterwards. Yep, we've done this step and then it's time to activate. Let's go back to the WordPress admin and hit the activate button. By the way, this plugin is from 99 Robots, and if you are curious what a plugin is about, yeah, in WordPress there are so many plugins to get things done easily. So pretty much like an application developed by someone to get things done in WordPress faster. Okay, so here once you install the plugin, you gotta follow the other step. Okay, yeah, now we need to find this plugin after it's installed. We just have to make sure that the plugin is already installed, and for that we need to go back to the WordPress account and then scroll a little bit down into the plugins section. Yeah, it says installed plugins. I'm gonna just click on that and you can see there's quite a lot. Yeah, so many plugins have been installed and it's pretty hard to find the one that we kind of installed a while ago. It is not. There's a search box right here, and what was it called? It's called header footer, right? So I'm gonna search it by the keyword head. Yeah, it pops. So it says header footer code manager. Alright, so once it's installed, you will see it in the plugins section. Let's see what we have to do right now. Yeah, so we need to go to the settings of that plugin. You can select the word settings. Yep, right here. Go. Here we go. Right, now you can see there are two IDs. They're all blank. Now I'm going back to the Google Tag Manager and explain why we have to have different, we call it as snippets. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is, as they have explained, as I have explained in my presentation, yeah, we did this step. Now we did this. Okay, yeah, all right, so that is the next step. Add the new snippet. Let's go back to the admin panel and click on that button right here. There we go. All right, now I mentioned that we need to have two different codes. Yeah, one for the head section and the other one for the body. So I'm going to just create the first one for the head section. Go back to the admin panel. We can call it GTM for Google Tag Manager head. Yeah, you can just give it a name that you like, or you can just call it head GTM. You don't have to change any of these except right here. Yeah, we need to make sure that it's set to the header. Yeah, okay, that's one of the most important things, because this is the first tag for the header section, and there will be another one that we need to create later for the footer or the body in this case. All right, so yeah, we're gonna track everything, so it should be site wide. Here's the place we are going, where we have to copy the code from the Google Tag Manager account. So I'm going to switch back to the Google Tag Manager account. The reason why I didn't want you to close this is because you can copy it from here. There's a small button on the right top corner of the box. Just click it many times. Sometimes it doesn't copy. So once you copy that, you can paste it by right clicking, and if you know the keyboard shortcut, Control key and letter V. If you're using Windows, if it is Mac, it's Control or Command V. Okay, so then once that's done, just to make sure it's the correct code, you can yeah, have a look, see the comparison. It's kind of the same. Okay, so that is the head section of the or the header tag that I've installed. So hit the save button at the bottom. Make sure it saves. Okay. All right. Now you're gonna if you wanna make some changes, you can do the changes here and hit the update button. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. So let's go back to the next snippet. All right. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go back to the plugins. And install plugins again and see if this tag is already saved. So let's do the same drill. Search for the plugin, which is header footer code manager. Yeah, I just search it up here, and then it's this one. Let's go to the settings again. Now you will see the tag that we've already installed. Yeah, this is what I was talking about right here. It says head GTM, whatever the name that you mentioned. Now you can even edit it, and the location is the header. Yeah, here we go. On all devices. That's done. Now we need to create another one for the body. Yeah, so this is that step. Going back to the website, sorry, the WordPress admin and do the same thing here on the top left hand corner. You can find add new snippet, and when you are inside the plugin settings. Okay, just like we've done for the first one, we need to repeat the steps, and here I'm gonna change the name. I'm gonna give it a name. So this is the footer, right? So we can call it the body. Google Tag Manager. All right, so the only change that you need to do here is the location. Now we need to select footer. Okay, that is very important. Okay, now for the footer, we need to copy the tag from the Google account and paste it in this text area. So let's go back to the Google Tag Manager account, and now we're going to copy this part. You can do the same thing. Click on the icon, copy. All right, I'm going to go back to the WordPress admin panel. Press Ctrl V or paste it by right clicking. You can see it's few lines less compared to the header tag, and the next step is to hit the save button at the bottom top corner. No, bottom left corner, my bad. Alright, hit the save button. I'm going to confirm that we've done all this. Yes, we did this, and we did this a while ago. I think we are on track. Okay, so that now we're gonna go back to the plugins again and go for the install plugins and search for head. Yeah, here we go. It says header footer code manager. Go to the settings again, just to ensure that everything is done and dusted. Yeah, you can see the first one, the head in the header section, done. The second one in the footer section. Yeah, that's all I need. Alright, so once that's done, let's go back to the next step in our tutorial. We confirm that this is fine, and alright. Okay, so now we need to make sure that our website is being tracked. Oh, this code implementation is fully functioning. So I'm going to hit the OK button here. Alright, you don't see anything happening right now. It says a new tag. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. And yeah, let's go back to the workspace or the container. So I'm going to click right here. Yeah, so it says the shop, and it says GTM for Google Tag Manager, and then this is your Google Tag Manager code. Yeah, in my case it's different. I'm going to click on that. Yeah, you can see it right up here as well. So this is what I wanted you to know, and you'll be prompted again. Like if you miss that, you can still copy it from this window. Alright, so when you click on the tag that is related to this particular website, you will be prompted with these head and body tags if you couldn't do it in the first run. Yeah, so I'm gonna click on this preview before submitting to make sure that everything is working fine. So let's click on the preview button. Have I mentioned that in my slides? Not yet. Yeah. Alright, so I can kind of do it. Yeah, so this is the important step. So you need to hit the preview button, and make sure that it's working. Okay, so we will be prompted with something similar. It says preview mode. Yeah, it says the tag. It's a kind of a unique code for each and every container. Says will be put into debug mode in this web browser. Okay, I'm using Firefox. Most of the Google products, they don't like Firefox for some reason. And yeah, if you're going to try it in Google Chrome, feel free. It will work perfectly, and there are some additional plugins that you can use to make sure that your website is being tracked by the tag you just installed. Alright, now you need to install the website URL. Now this is the most important thing. So now how do you find the website URL? If you're in your WordPress admin account or WordPress account, you can see right next to your website project, it says visit site. Yeah, that's all you have to do. Just click on that and it will give you a live preview of the website. Just do that. Yeah, here we go. It's kind of the same thing. Alright, so that's not complete. It's just a preview of what I have done up to now. Yeah, so I'm on the website. Now let's see if the tracking code is working. So I'm going to make some changes while in the preview mode. And then we are going to see these events that are triggered on the website are being recorded on the Google Tag Manager account. Yeah, so this is where we stopped. So this is what we need to copy now, the website URL. Alright, so once you have logged in to the WordPress admin panel, you will see this. That is what I've noticed. So right now, if you go to the visit site option, you will see the website loading. Alright, and it says the tag assistant not connected. Rightly so. Yeah, because we are in the process of connecting this tag. Alright, now here you can see my website's other pages on the menu bar. I want to track this particular segment, which is called the shop. Click on that. Now you'll see the URL up here. It changed to projectsite.com and /shop. Yeah, so I'm going to copy that. That's the one that I'm going to track. Alright, so I've got some products, some fake products already came with the template. Let's see if I can track them down, if I can track the user events down. Alright, so I'm going to go back and paste this URL that I've copied right here and hit the connect button. Alright, so now you'll see some changes happening. You can see this area which says with a green tick, it says debug information for this page is viewable in the tag assistant window. So if you see this green check, that indicates that everything is okay. Alright, so it's being tracked. Hopefully, let's confirm that this loading event of the web page is already tracked. So I have to go back to the tag assistant tab on top. Click on that and you can see it says connected, and this is what I was hoping to see. It says a shop, those are e-commerce, windows loaded, DOM ready, and container loaded in its initialization. Yeah, so this is some of the technical jargon. You don't have to worry. DOM stands for the document object model. Like so many jargon that you might have to avoid right now because you are a business management major student, or you're not hopefully studying IT. And if you're studying IT, you will learn about these things in detail. All right, so here it says initialization, consent initialized, and seems like we are good to go. So let's go back to the website, the live page, and click on some of the stuffs around. Let's say if I can click on the Beat headphone, and let's see if that event is tracked. It says, yeah, it still shows the green check. Let's go back to the tag assistant and confirm if my event is tracked. Perfect. Yes, it says Beat headphones. Those are, yeah, that's the page that I clicked. That's the link actually, which opened a new page. Let's do another one. I'm gonna add this to the cart. I don't think it will work. Let's give it a shot though. I can see if the URL changes. It doesn't change here. It was the same, hopefully. Let's see. Yeah, yeah. So it says, I think there's two segments now. It says Beat headphone, sorry, headphone, and that is this one, and this is the previously opened page. That's the same scenario. So it seems like it's working for most of the pages, not all of the pages. Hopefully, you don't have time to check each and every page. So once you implement that, it's always advisable for you to check for each and every event that if the tag manager is responding. All right. Okay. Well, that looks good. Now let's see. There's one more information that I kind of missed out. And if you have logged in to the WordPress admin panel, or if you have not logged into the WordPress admin panel, which is right up here, so right down the bottom, it says WordPress admin. You will see something like this. It's not gonna be the same as the other window that I had a while ago. Let me go all the way back. Yeah, so it's not the same. So this is, I think it's the admin. Yeah, it says admin here. All right. So once you go to the admin panel, you'll see that. And if you don't have the access to the admin, all you can do is this pretty much the same thing to get the live URL. Yes, it says here at the top right hand corner. You can see my mouse pointer. It says visit site. It's the same thing. So when you click on that, you'll get the same URL or the uniform resource locator. It worked. Okay, so let's try to do the same thing. I'm going to go to the visit site. Yeah, I think it will show in, no, it doesn't say. All right, it says could not connect to the tag assistant. So I'm going to repeat the process. Copy this URL on the top, and yeah, all right, I'm gonna hit the continue button. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is go back to the project. I'm gonna start over. Let's start from scratch. Let's go to Google Tag Manager. Let's close that. Yeah, let's click on the boseshop.com, and you can see, yes, this is my tag. Just want to confirm. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to now hit the preview button on the right hand top corner. Let's do that. Alright, so I'm going to paste this URL that I've already copied. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Yeah, it is. And hit the connect button. It's working. Alright. Yeah, so that's the same thing that you need to repeat all the time. So let's continue. Hit the continue button and see what are the things that we have under this segment. So when you click on the first event, let's see, consent initialization, and go to the variable section, yeah, these are the things that are going to change. We can use these variables to track precisely the events, like clicking on a particular button or a particular area of the website and things like that. So if you go to the data layer, you can see some coding events being registered. Yeah, no errors. So these are actually things that we're gonna learn as well, but pretty much technical stuff. And if you want to deep dive into the Google Tag Manager, you might have to do a bit of programming and of setting the variables in your Google Tag Manager to precisely track all the user events. Yeah, you can see the variables are changing here, and like this too. The events, actually, sorry. Yeah. So yeah, let's learn about that as well. And for the time being, I think it's already almost 40, 50 minutes of this presentation. So we've done all the hard work, and make sure that you will see your website's tag assistant is connected. And there is another way of doing this. There is a plugin that you can install in into Google Chrome, which will do the same thing. Um, yeah, all right. So I think it's time to confirm that everything is mentioned in these slides as steps. Made few changes. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. And after you make changes, you'll see different pages appearing here. Yeah, we got that confirmed as well. Okay, so what I'm gonna do right now is to check if my button click event, sorry, will be registered or will be triggered. Let's click on this subscribe now button. Yeah, let me just punch in the email. Anyway, this the functionality is not applied yet, so I'm gonna just click and see if this button click event is gonna get registered. Yeah, I just clicked and there was an error. Don't worry about that error. So let's go back to the tag assistant and see. No, it's not recorded, right? It doesn't register. So that is one of the things that we're going to fix right now. So by default, the tag manager does not track the button click events and others. Some of the events, yes. So the changes that we're gonna make in order to track these events, like the button clicks, is the next step. So I'm gonna go back to the I'm gonna just go to uh, the workspace, sorry, or the overview right here. Okay, right now you can see I have not created any tags, and there's so many things that I have to apply on this workspace. So first we're going to start with a trigger. Okay, so let's click on the trigger section, and yes, it doesn't have any triggers, so the first thing I have to do is to create a trigger. Okay, so let's click on the new button, and yeah, you can give it a title of your liking. Let's go for, what was that button called? Subscribe button. Well, let's call it button click for the time being, and then you have to click in the center of this particular card or block, or you can just click here to create a new trigger configuration for the button clicks. Alright, so once you do that, you can see there are so many options. Now here under the click segment, or the section where it says click, you can say all elements. Okay, just click on the option all elements. Alright, so it's going to register all the clicks related to all the buttons, not specifically that subscription button. So there is another way of doing that. Now I'm going to just track all the buttons that are being clicked on the pages. Alright, so that's done, and there is a save button up here. Just click that. Alright, so that button click trigger is being, it's already activated. There's one more thing you need to do. You need to create a variable. So I've mentioned that in the link, in the presentation as well. So after you create the trigger, you have to configure the variables. Yeah, otherwise you will not still see the event of the users when they click these buttons on your page. So let's go back to the Google Tag Manager. Let's click on the variables, and it's the configure button on the right hand top corner. Alright, so you can see some of the boxes are not ticked or checked, and let's see what they are. So the events are being registered, and let's see, you can click most of the things that you might be using in the future. Yeah, so I'm going to find out the click events. Yeah, this is what you need. So click elements, classes, IDs, yeah, everything possible. Now, if you want to activate the form elements as well, yeah, feel free. As for the future, if you got any forms in your web page, alright, yeah, so, and then I think we need to save it. Let's see, save button. Yeah, alright, you can just close this window. Alright, now you can see all these are applied, all these variables and classes, and that is how you can enable the button click event trigger. Let's see if it's going to work. So I'm going to go back to my live URL. You might have to refresh and click on subscribe now, and go back to the tag assistant. Alright, it still did not register. Probably we might have to refresh or restart. Let's give it a shot again. I'm going to start over. So I'm going to hit the preview because I made some changes. It says 14 workspace changes. Yes, so you have to preview again. Yes, it's taking a bit of time to connect. Let's see why. Visit the site. Yeah, alright, so I'm going to go to the page with that button. So it's still trying to connect, not connected. Yeah, I think I did. Alright, so I need to click on the connect again after loading the page. Yeah, I accidentally closed the page, that's why. So here we go. It says tag assistant connected, and it's live, and now I'm going to go back to the tag assistant and see what's happening. Yes, the same old stuff. Again, hit the continue button, and now I'm going to click on the subscribe now button and see what's going to happen. Now, you don't need to fill this. Let's see. So I clicked it. I go back to the tag assistant. Yes, it is working now. It says click. All right, so you need to click on that, and you can see the variables of that click button, which are like used by the programmers to keep track of these or send information to Google Analytics. As I mentioned in the beginning of the tutorial, that everything is interconnected. So Google Tag Manager is connected. You need to make sure that it's connected to Google Analytics, and hope some of you have already learned about Google Analytics, because that's a vital part in your website. And just to make sure that you're sending this data properly to Google Analytics, you need to first set the relevant tags and triggers in Google Tag Manager. Okay, so yeah, it's working, and hopefully this button has an ID. Yeah, so this button is not well configured. It doesn't have any IDs. So once you configure an ID in your WordPress or in your control panel by accessing the code, can be HTML or JavaScript or whatever the programming language. That's a bit technical. So once this is done, that you get a unique ID for this button. So if you have like 5 different buttons, it will be having 5 different IDs or variables, depending on how it is programmed. So you can track them separately. Yeah. So that is something a bit advanced. So here what we're going to do is to make sure the button click events are being triggered and being registered in the Google Tag Manager. Yeah, so now after you make all the changes, you can submit, and it will take a bit of time for the changes, for the information to be gathered and displayed on the Google Analytics. If you combine the Google Analytics with the Tag Manager, yeah, so you can give it a description, and let's call this the version 1. Yeah, you can add some details here, and then you can hit the save button. All right. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. And once that's done, you can see version 2 is live now. So you can always do some backtracking and testing and see if everything is smooth. And let's do a live test. Yes, so you can see all the information right now being registered, but I'm not going to I'm not going to make this URL or this particular website public. So we will see some of the information related to your clickings and other interactions in this website.